Okay, so skipping over to the descriptive type feedback, this is where I'm actually describing in detail
Okay.
what I witnessed over the course of the class.
Okay.
Of course, the first thing they were doing was taking the quiz over the terms. And was that a cumulative assessment? They've already
been
had
doing-
sub-assessments
Yes, they
leading up
have
to that?
5 small ones, where as we've taken the quiz, we have found those in our essays.
Okay.
So now that they've taken all of them, they should be able to address all of those rhetorical terms in the pieces of writing.
Okay.
So I do that at the beginning of the year to sort of get those out of the way, make sure that they know them all, and then they can find them.
And your sense of their mastery level, have you already had a chance to grade?
Yes,
Quizzes?
yes,
They're pretty high.
They do very well on the quiz, but the hard part now is for them to use those words and use them in the right context. They get parallelism, they get repetition, they get anecdotes, but to be able to find an anaphora, those terms that they have never heard of before, a synecdoche, to be able to find those that were new to them, those are harder. And
Okay.
so those, it's just that constant repetition from here on out
Okay.
of being able to find them.
We've already talked about their level of engagement and the participation, and it seemed like in your group that they pretty all equally participate in conversations versus some classes where you have very dominant speakers.
Right.
I know you have the shy factor with a couple of the students, but generally speaking, I didn't see any real dominant.
Generally they
speakers.
do. It depends on sometimes the topic of the essay that they're using as to who will have more of an opinion. As long as I can have somebody start it, they'll usually
That's great.
argue with each other.
Very good. We talked about, or I observed the fact that, you know, the specific rhetorical strategies within this particular essay were talked about, and that was the goal, is to see, can you incorporate some of these, can you identify
Right.
which were used and to what effect, and how did that help to drive the content of the essay. And then the specific use of the document reader with projector as a technique to engage them in, you know, identifying passages and breaking down passages of content and looking at those rhetorical strategies in action was used. And then you guys shifted into a writing introductory paragraph, and am I right that this was an introductory paragraph that would actually become the part of their response to this essay?
Their analysis, which is one of the essays that they are tested on
Okay.
in AP.
Okay. So certainly the work that they're doing is all geared toward developing a mastery set of skills to be able to do this technique and this writing analysis with whatever they're presented with
Exactly.
on the fly, certainly for the test, but also for college. This is fantastic college
It is.
material.